Well, no, I'm not going to find out. I'll find out, but I don't. Oh, I don't want to be.
Well, the other day I asked you about the movie theater, and you told me all about.
Well, it was the movie theater was just our whole life back then, and it changed. What, 4 times a week? 1, 2, 3, 4, and it was.
How much did it cost?
I don't 11 cents at one time. And I don't know what it probably went up to 35 cents or something, but it wasn't very much. If it was, we couldn't go on. And you could get a nickel sack of popcorn and a nickel Coke. And we always went in and sat on the left-hand side for some reason, and I don't know why. And
and the African Americans sat upstairs?
Yes.
Or the black people?
Yeah, if there was, they couldn't sit down with us. They had to sit on the right-hand side of the upstairs, the balcony.
Well, tell me the story about the night watchman. I thought that was so funny.
That was Mr. Wright, and he was the night watchman.
And what did the night watchman do?
The night watchman went, from 10 o'clock on, he went to every store that paid him, that hired him. He went to every store and checked their locks and their doors. And he'd just make a circle. And of course, if you was going to rob somebody, you could watch him and see when he went to there, and you could have robbed it by the time he made the circle on the other side, on the north side of town, and come back. You could have.
Well, it sounds like you have a criminal mind.
Well, we did. One night we spent the night over at Betty Jo's. She lived right there on Main Street, and we slept out on the yard, in the front yard, where we could see what was going on, and.
They didn't have mosquitoes back then?
No, we didn't. Well, we didn't know it if they did. And we went, every time he had come by, we'd watch, and when he'd come by and go down to the bridge to go across, we'd put the 2 trash cans out in the middle of the street. And when he'd come back, he just couldn't figure it out. He didn't know why those trash cans got out in the middle of the street. We drove him crazy that night. But anyway, he went to Mr. Reeves gave him a free pass for him and his family. He had several children, and he gave them a free pass to the movies anytime they wanted to go. They could go every night if they wanted to. And of course, on Saturday night, it was always the old Western movies. And this particular Saturday night, it was Hopalong Cassidy, and they were all there, all the kids and everybody was there. And Hoppy was in a terrible situation. He is up on the rocky side of a mountain, and he was trying to fight all these people, and in the process, one of the mean men was coming up and coming around behind him, and he was coming behind Hoppy. And before he got to him, Mr. Wright jumped up and hollered, "Hoppy, Hoppy, look behind you, look behind you." He was just so wrapped up in that old movie. And that was just the funniest thing. I just thought that.
We were certainly more innocent back then.
Yeah.
Not as sophisticated in our entertainment.
Hoppy, look behind you. He was trying to help Hoppy, I'll tell you for sure.
Well, who is this Hot Hancock everybody talks about?
Oh, Hot Hancock.
Wait, just a minute.